That is the biggest win of your career. Your pace and your pressure has shown itself on multiple occasions. Where do you get that?
It's just in my heart, you know. I was born tough. I can thank my mom and dad for that.
Erin Cold-Blooded Blanchfield! Louisville! Can I get a hell yeah? I think you got this crowd right where you want them, Zach. By TKO, Zachary Savage Reeves! Welcome to UFC Unfiltered.
Please tell me that's on video. I've never been happier.
I'm made for a fucking podcast. We're dangerous. Listen to me, we're at it.
We're so excited for you main eventing this fight versus Macy Barber. And, you know, Macy's well-rounded. She's athletic. When you got her name across your, it came across your desk, what did you think?
You know, I was excited for it. I knew it was going to be a main event like right away. And I wanted someone that was also like in the top 5 to keep my direction towards the title. And she's someone that I've kind of had my eye on for a while, so I thought it was a good fight.
Yeah, and after the Faroe fight, you came back and fought Rose, which is not an easy one to come back. You know, sometimes after a loss, you don't want to have to deal with someone like Rose, but it was a great fight. How did you feel after the Faroe fight? Did it affect you at all? And I mean, besides just being a little bit bummed about it, or did it have any kind of an effect on you?
I tried not to, I guess, get too like heavy on it. You know, like obviously it always sucks losing. But I knew I wanted to, you know, fix my mistakes and get back and get that win again. So when I got the fight against Rose, I was already, you know, trying to sharpen up my striking and just get my whole game a little bit tighter. So I feel like I was thrown right back into the fire with Rose, but I was able to flourish there.
Well, there's one thing to rebound, and there's another thing to rebound off a former champion in Thug Rose. That's impressive. And going into this main event, not to mention, you know, you just went 10 rounds. Like, you know what I mean? So you fought 5 rounds. How does that feel, the second round compared to the first time? Well, obviously a lot better. But because you won the fight. But seriously, as far as endurance and whatnot, did it feel a little different? Like just knowing you could do that 5 when it counts?
Yeah, I think that's the difference. Like knowing now, since I have fought like 10 rounds and been in 2 5-round fights, that I have the same energy going into the 5th as I had like in the first. And I know I can really push there. And yeah, just having that experience there, I think is super helpful.
Do you think that, like, when you're going for these 5-round fights, it is a huge difference. I mean, it's almost twice as long. And I know you guys train to fight 10 rounds. Like, I know that that's not beyond what you train for. But do you think that it was anybody's strategy to drag you into later rounds to see how you held up in those 4th and 5th rounds?
You know, I don't know if that was anybody's strategy, because I feel like I've always had, I know I've only had 3-round fights, obviously prior to my 5-round ones. But I feel like my cardio was always really good, and it's still good even in those 5-round fights. I feel like if anything, I feel like I grow as the fight goes. So I don't think it should be anyone's like strategy to try to pull me deeper.
Does it change the way you approach the fight? Because there are certain fighters you see who come out with a lot of energy, or they come out a certain way, and then you notice them in a 5-round fight. In the 2nd round, and sometimes the announcers will even say, well, it looks like they're taking a little bit of, you know, saving themselves for 3, 4, and 5. Do you approach that any different?
Yeah, I mean, I guess in a 5-round fight, you have more time to have strategy. You know, you don't want to necessarily just throw yourself right in. You want to be able to utilize those 5 rounds that you have to kind of feel out your opponent, since it doesn't have to be as fast-paced as a 3-round fight. So I definitely try to utilize that.
Your confidence has to be through the roof. I mean, after fighting Rose. Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you, that's a rough, I mean, there's no easy fights at this level, but to come back after having a tough, you know, your first, that was your first loss in the UFC, I believe.
Yeah.
Am I off with that?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
I'm
you're
right
right.
with that. Thank you.
Yes.
So, I mean, shoot, it's almost like, what, do they not like me? If you were an insecure fighter, you'd be like, they want to get rid of me. But no, you took that head on. And now you got to be, your head's got to be you got to be so confident right now.
Yeah, I feel good. Even after losing to Manon, I was happy that I was able to get like a fight against Rose, because it's not like, oh, they like hate me. It's more like, oh, this is what they think high of me. Like I think I can fight and beat someone like Rose. Like that's how I tried to take it. It was already, I had a couple months between fights, so I was able to like train and really prep for someone like a Rose too. So I felt like that was really good for me, and like obviously my confidence, like you said, like kind of coming back and being able to win against a former champ. I have done that in the past, and then being able to do it again after losing, just put me right back in the place I want to be.
What do you think makes, and if you saw her fight with Valentina, Valentina just seems like everything someone else is good at, she figures out a way to combat that. I mean, she's really one of the most well-rounded fighters I've ever seen in any division and in either gender. What do you think it is about her that makes her so difficult to gain some kind of an advantage with?
Yeah, she's just she's a very talented fighter. She has a ton of experience. I think even the Manon fight, she kind of got Manon to kind of come into her. Like Manon generally is like a point fighter, kind of like uses her movement a lot, tries to hit, run. But with Valentina is very like poised and takes her time, and like she kind of made Manon come into her and like kind of play her game. I think she does a really good job of that. I think it's one of the biggest parts of her game
is getting someone else to kind of come and do what she wants them to do as opposed to fighting their fight.
Yeah, she's a counter striker too, and she kind of just does enough to kind of like pry at them. She'll throw some jabs to kind of get them to come in, and then she's fast, and she has really good counters, and yeah, she really makes them fight like her fight.
How do you stop somebody from doing that? Like when you're in there with somebody who you know is trying to bring you into what they want. I'm sure you've encountered it before, and how do you deal with it, and how do you just, I guess, stop it or reverse it if it starts to happen?
Yeah, it's always hard. You don't want to, I guess, just go straight in, because someone that's a counter fighter does want that. They kind of want you to come in to be able to obviously counter you in that way. That's kind of what I feel like you saw in like the Silva and Alexa fight. Like Alexa just kept coming in, and Silva was just like cracking her and cutting angles. I think you need to kind of be patient too. You need to use your fakes and kind of get them off their rhythm, not let them control the pace.
Yeah.
Do you care that this is at the Apex? It is at the Apex. It's in Vegas.
Yeah.
You give it your main eventing. Does it make it that much of a difference to you? Some people don't care. Some people prefer it. Some people like the big arena. Well, do you care?
I like the arena. I mean, I'm happy that it's a main event, but I do really like the crowd. I feel like all leading into like the fight, or like walking into the cage, I feel like I don't really care because I'm so focused like on my fight. But after winning, it's really nice getting like that crowd like energy.
What are you doing to decompress now? What are you doing in your off time to relax? You a big reader, Erin?
I don't read too much, to be honest. I do journal though. I like journaling, especially like during fight week and stuff. Yeah, like I like to like take notes like during camp, like read over my notes and like journal how I'm feeling, and just kind of, I guess, release myself in that way. Yeah, and I've just been doing like a ton of media and stuff since I've been in Vegas and just hanging out.
Now, when you journal, I would be so paranoid. Do you say things that like no one else can read, or is it like one of those things where it's just kind of like a very like if you lost your journal, would you be out of your mind, or is it nothing that you'd worry about? Because I would be paranoid about that.
Yeah, I guess I would be worried about losing it. I would like having it just to honestly just like reminisce, to like have it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. I kind of journal about pretty much like anything, or like what I want to do, like, especially like when I have a fight coming up, like what I want to do in the fight or what I want to implement, because I'm training everything, but I also want to like have it in my mind and like be able to think about it that way too.